Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're assembling this bed from Universal Broadmoore. And so this is a set that comes from Costco. I'll put a link in the description if I can also find it on Amazon through my affiliate link. But it went together very simple. There's a lot of pre-assembled pieces, so it's really not too bad. So we're going to go ahead and assemble this with you together. So we're going to start with panel A, which is the headboard. And we're going to go ahead and lay this down. Make sure that you have it right in the orientation of where you want it in the room. It's pretty heavy. You don't want to be moving it after that. Next, we're going to get our little B pillar here. And so as you can see, it's labeled B here and it's labeled B on the headboard. So we're just going to flip this around and we're going to line the two of them up so that they match and put them together. So this is what it should look like on the inside here, following up to the headboard. Now for hardware, it's pretty simple. They have a large, medium, and small size bolt. Okay, the bolts are CC for the longest one, EE for the middle, and then FF for the short one. Now, all of these are assembled the same. You're going to have a crush washer that comes on first. So this is the one that's split here. So that goes on first, and then we're going to put the flat washer on behind it. So all of the hardware will be assembled that way for these bolts. So we're putting the longest two in here at the very top, and I like to lift from above to kind of get it nice and flat and then start to screw these down. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side with our C panel. So we just put our C panel in place right over the other letter C and lined it up, and we put our biggest bolts again with their hardware in these top two and went ahead and tightened those down. And again, I lifted slightly from the bottom to make sure that it was flush as I tightened both of these down. Next came our D panel, and it connects at the bottom of the headboard at the very foot. And so there's two for these, and it's going to be the medium-sized one. So not the biggest, not the smallest one, right in the middle. And so those are the two bolts that we use on each side. Now, I like to get these threaded first. Do not tighten any of them down yet until all four of them are in. Otherwise, it's hard to get them to line up. So with all four threaded in by hand, I then tighten them down. Next came our little feet here at the bottom. So this is the F one, and they have little caps. So you take the cap off, and then you just thread it at the bottom here of the front part where the drawers were. So you'll see the pre-threaded holes there. Just tighten both of these on. There's two of them. And they also have the little tiny piece at the bottom for adjusting the actual height. Next came our H panel. Now notice it says here top side. So we're actually going to flip this and put our G panels into the back of that. So where the sticker says top side, lay that one away from you like so. And then we're going to find these threaded holes. And the same thing, there's a cap that we removed off of these. And so now these are threading right into the back of those panels. So this is our G going into the H panels. So just repeat this process. There's a lot of these ones. So just get them all threaded into the H panels. Next we have our J, and it goes on the left-hand side, and our K, which goes on the right-hand side. So make sure you have these sides right. They otherwise look identical. And so you can know that they're the right ones because you have the ledge going across the top that the slats will go into. Now I found it easiest to line these panels up, and we're going to first install them on the side that has the drawers. So if you see here, the drawers stand flat. And so on the very end, we're going to put in our two dowel pins. So there's a pin on the top and the bottom. And we're just going to lift this panel up, and it's going to slide into the two pre-drilled holes. So now that that lines up, we'll be able to put some hardware in here. Now here's a little trick. If you pull the drawers out, and you don't have to take them all the way out, it does open up a little space for here that you can get your hand into for that hardware. Again, we're putting the hardware in, but we're not putting it tight yet. So we put two here and then the other two here. And so this will be the smallest hardware that we have. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just lift the panel up, line up the dowel pins. We'll open up the drawers to get some better access in here and tighten everything down. Okay, now is a good time to square up the bed and make sure it's perfectly squared off and tightened down on all four corners. Next, we're bringing in our slats, and they just fit into the spots here. And we'll eventually put our screws down in there, but put all of the slats down. I also had to close off all of these feet just to make sure that they fit. Next, we're taking our screws and we're just going to screw them all in. They're pre-drilled holes, but just go through every one of the slats, drill them in, and then we put these panels over the top. And that's it. That's how easy this was to put together. We also did the dresser and everything that basically just came right out of the box. So this is a very nice set. It all matches, the nightstands, everything. And so I think we're going to enjoy this one for years to come. So thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and check the playlist in the video description for more videos like this. Thanks, guys.